Resident Evil 2 is a survival horror game developed by Capcom's R&D Division 1 studio. The game is a remake of 1998's Resident Evil 2, released on the 25th of January 2019 for the PlayStation, Xbox One and Windows operating systems. Hello Homies, welcome to 24 Theory. In this video we'll be looking at the story of Resident Evil 2. This video will contain spoilers, so if you want to play the game for yourself then you've been warned. Well, without waiting, let's get into the video. Resident Evil 2 is a remake of the 1998 game Resident Evil 2 for PlayStation. Unlike the original, which uses tank controls and fixed camera angles, the remake features over-the-shoulder third-person shooter gameplay similar to Resident Evil 4 and more recent games in the series that allows players the option to move while using their weapons similar to Resident Evil 6. The assisted and standard difficulty modes deviate from the original by featuring autosaves and allowing players to save as often as they would like inside safe rooms. If the player chooses to play on hardcore difficulty, players will be required to collect and use a finite number of ink ribbons to save the game's progress, much like in the original game. While exploring the police station, players can find and pick up items that can help them survive and escape. Certain items such as herbs and gunpowder can be combined to make healing items and ammunition respectively. Items can also be inspected for clues gaining access to certain areas or items hidden throughout the game and can be discarded after use. Overall combat varies depending on difficulty. Assisted difficulty allows aim assist and health recovery along with weaker enemies, while hardcore difficulty has stronger enemies and has scarce ammo for players to find. Combat will also vary depending on who players are fighting. Enemies will generally come after players after they are spotted and can be killed or crippled to slow them down. Zombies will attempt to break into the station through windows, but can be stopped if the windows are boarded up beforehand. Certain enemies must be fought to progress through the game and cannot be avoided. Although Leon and Claire will both start with handguns at the beginning of their scenarios, each has different weapons that can be obtained throughout the game. Weapons can also be customized by finding and equipping gun parts that will improve their performance. Sub-weapons like knives and grenades can also be found and equipped and used to attack and fend off enemies that grab onto the player. At certain points in each scenario, players will encounter the Tyrant, a bio-organic weapon sent by Umbrella to eliminate all survivors in the police station and will attempt to kill the player when encountered. The Tyrant cannot be killed, although weapons can stun or slow him down. While players can evade the Tyrant, he will constantly search throughout the station except for safe rooms and certain areas of the police station. As with the 1998 game, the remake of Resident Evil 2 offers the option to play through the main campaign as either Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie police officer on his first day, or Claire Redfield, a college student and sister of original protagonist Chris. Depending on the player's choice, the main story will be experienced with variations in subplots, accessible areas, obtainable items, weapons, and the final boss battle. Also like the original, both campaigns feature a supporting character who becomes playable for one section of the game. Players control the mysterious Ada Wong in Leon's story, whose segment involves hacking electronic devices, and young girl Sherry Birkin in Claire's story, whose segment centers around stealth. Similar to the Scenario B feature of the original game, beating the main campaign for the first time unlocks the option to play through a second run as the other protagonist. Second Run is a variation of the main campaign that adds additional content to frame the second playthrough as occurring concurrently with the first playthrough. For example, the protagonist in Second Run will enter the police station from a different entrance and find several doors already unlocked by the protagonist from the first playthrough. Completing Second Run is also required to experience the true ending of the main campaign. Selecting the new game scenario for the selected character allows players to start with the default item loadout with items they had playing the game for the first time. The remake brings back the Fourth Survivor and the Tofu Survivor minigames present in the 1998 original, which are unlocked after completing the Second Run mode. The Fourth Survivor follows Umbrella Corporation operative Hunk and requires players to travel from the sewers to the outside of the police department while facing a large number of enemies. The Tofu Survivor features the same scenario, but replaces Hunk with an anthropomorphic tofu armed only with knives. The remake's version of the Tofu Survivor also adds the unlockable characters Konjac, Yuiru Machai, Flan, and Anan Tofu, who all have a unique item loadout. The game begins with a truck driver hauling oil driving through the plains of Arklay County, entirely unaware of the recent quarantine of Raccoon City. Tired, eating a burger and listening to a talk radio program featuring an eyewitness to zombie, the truck plows straight into what seems like a woman walking on the highway. Panicked and scared, the driver gets out of the truck to inspect on the woman, but the woman rises up while his back is turned and attacks him. Elsewhere in the plains, police rookie Leon S. Kennedy and university student Claire Redfield stop off at the Mizoil gas station to fill up on petrol. The first to arrive investigates a smashing sound inside and finds an Arklay County Sheriff deputy being attacked by a zombie. Zombies flock from the surrounding area to the gas station, cornering Leon and Claire. The two meet at the entrance and evade the horde of zombies as they rush to the deputy's car, which Leon drives into the city. Driving through the ruined streets, Leon and Claire discover the only people inside are zombies, but overhear from a pre-recorded announcement that refugees are to head to the Raccoon police station for shelter. When the car reaches a dead end, Leon and Claire realize they must continue on foot. The car is quickly set upon by zombies, preventing their escape for several seconds as the injured truck driver drives towards them, losing consciousness as he swerves off the road and narrowly avoids a direct collision. Leon and Claire escape the burning police car shortly before it ignites the oil leaking from the wrecked truck, causing a massive explosion. Separated by the burning remains of the truck, Leon and Claire confirm their safety before independently setting off for the station. One of the two survivors reaches the Raccoon police station and witnesses police officer Elliot Edward be torn in half under a shutter while trying to help him. LT. Marvin Branagh, the only remaining officer, helps explain the situation that the few remaining police officers, now all gone, were trying to escape through a secret passageway. Marvin entrusts the opening of the secret passage to either Claire or Leon. Eventually, they will be asked to head over to the East Wing, and while heading there, a police helicopter crashes into a second-floor corridor. Leon and Claire converse, but the gate cannot be opened and zombies are coming. Eventually, one of the survivors discovers the passage and enters the secret passage that was hidden beneath the statue in the main hall. Marvin refuses to go, knowing that he is about to become a zombie, and he shuts the door on them. When the second-run character arrives at the police station, they are forced to solve the puzzle all by themselves, with Marvin now zombified. When either Leon or Claire approach the STARS office, they will encounter T-0, a T-103 tyrant sent to wipe out everyone at the police station and hunt for the G-virus. In the underground tunnels, either survivor encounters Dr. William Birkin in his G1 form and fights him. After defeating him, Claire pairs up with Sherry Birkin. Claire will lose Sherry to Police Chief Brian Irons, who drags her away to the Raccoon City orphanage. He later contacts Claire, demanding she hand over Sherry's locket, which he needs but refuses to discuss. Claire leaves the station for the orphanage, but finds Irons dying after being attacked by Birkin and implanted with a G embryo. She and Sherry leave through a hatchway in his office and are stalked by T-0. As they enter an elevator, T-0 is impaled by Birkin's claws, and the two fall into Umbrella's sewer facility. Claire is introduced to Dr. Annette Birkin, Sherry's mother, who takes Sherry away to safety. Soon after, however, Sherry suffers from the side effects of the G-virus, having been implanted off-screen by her father. In Leon's story, after defeating Birkin, he meets Ada Wong. Ada is uncooperative and disrespectful to him as a police officer. He gets better luck with prisoner Ben Bertolucci, who tries to explain to him about Umbrella's control over Chief Irons. Leon is unconvinced that his boss is corrupt, and soon Ben is killed by T-0, unable to escape his cell because the power is down. Leon restores power to the cells to recover a parking garage keycard he can use to escape, but is stalked by T-0 as well. Ada is able to incapacitate T-0 by ramming him with a police van. Without Ben, who was her contact, she recruits Leon into her operation instead, telling him she is an FBI agent investigating Dr. Annette Birkin, who she blames for the outbreak. Before heading into the sewers, the two meet gun shop owner Robert Kendo, who is one of the few uninfected Raccoon City survivors. Kendo wants nothing to do with Leon and is angry over the RPD's failure to control the situation. They are distracted by his 10-year-old daughter, Emma, who is infected and close to becoming a zombie. Kendo has the two go through the back door on their way and takes Emma back to their apartment to kill with his shock. As they reach the sewers, Leon is chased by a giant, mutant alligator, but succeeds in triggering an explosion to blow its head off. Leon catches up with Ada, but is shot by Annette. Ada goes after her and is nearly killed in an incinerator. She later falls down a bridge and gets stabbed in the leg by a debris. After fighting Birkin in his G2 form, both Leon and Claire head out to Nest, Claire with Sherry to seek medical attention, and Leon with Ada to continue their investigation. Both parties explore the facility and slowly collect wristband cards to gain access to more secure areas of the facility. During this search, Leon encounters T-Zero in the greenhouse, though he is absent in Claire's as he is dead in that story. The Birkin G3 fight takes place in Nest's restricted west area, after Claire recovers Devil or Leon recovers the G-Virus sample. In both situations, they are confronted by Annette, who turns on her husband before being seriously wounded. After the boss fight, Claire and Annette head over to the security room to vaccinate Sherry. Though it is procedure to surgically remove her body's G-cells, there is not enough time to cure her of the G-Virus, and Annette dies happy she won't turn into a monster like William. In Leon's story, he confronts Ada, realizing her FBI investigation is implausible and she may be a spy sent to steal the virus. Ada pulls a gun on him, but is shot by Annette and falls to the bottom of the facility. The G-Virus sample is lost, with Nest's auto-destruct system initiated in response to Leon's theft of the virus. Leon, Claire, and Sherry make their way down an express lift to the underground train yard separately, then take different routes at the bottom. Claire and Sherry reach the escape train and fight Birkin in his G4 form, while the train is lowered onto the rail below. Leon meanwhile takes a cargo lift down to the same platform, where he is confronted by T-Zero, now mutated into a super tyrant. Ada, alive and well, throws him a rocket launcher to kill the mutant. After suffering defeats and terrible wounds in the battles that occurred, Birkin is forced to absorb surrounding bodies to sustain himself. Reaching his G5 form, he has turned it into a shapeless blob of flesh, eyes, teeth, and tentacles. He boards the train that Leon, Sherry, and Claire are all on when it attempts to proceed towards its prey once more. Tired of dealing with G, the second-run character fights against the monster with everything they have left while trying to buy time long enough for the carriage to be detached and be consumed by the oncoming flames erupting from Nest. With Birkin dead, the three survivors stop the train at the other side of the tunnel and begin walking down a highway in the plains, thinking about what to do next. They come upon a road where a truck driver is heading toward Raccoon City. Thinking that he could be infected like the other truck driver, Leon prepares himself to shoot, but the driver simply flips him off and continues on his way. Leon and Claire both swear that they will put an end to Umbrella for what happened. Leon then states that as long as they stick together, they'll be fine. And that's it. I hope that it gave you a good information about Resident Evil 2. But if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, until next time, take it easy.